So for my sister's birthday this year and for Mother's Day, we decided to go to Edinburgh. Now, we've been wanting to go to Edinburgh for a while, but a lot of people who have been there have told us it's a beautiful city, it's got an amazing vibe, and we were quite excited, to be honest. So we ended up booking a hotel, the Marriott in Edinburgh, and we jumped in my sister's automatic Mini Cooper because we thought it would make the journey a bit easier, and we pretty much just hit the road. It was a pretty spontaneous trip. Between us planning it and going, there wasn't even 2 days involved. We had to stop on the Scottish border and try some of their flapjacks, which were just fantastic. And I have to say, crossing the Scottish border itself is quite funny because you don't realize when you live in Britain that you're going to a different country, but when you're at the border, the flags and everything, it's quite a spectacle. And then the coastal drive. Honestly, this camera and this video is not doing this drive justice. I have to speed it up a little bit because it's rather long, but this drive is beautiful. You can see the coastline, you can see the sea as you're driving on this road. The road is nice and twisty as well, and in a sporty little Mini, it feels good. It feels like a fun road trip. We entered the city, and oddly enough, we found the city was very similar to any major city, and we actually thought it was like going into London a little bit, but just struck by this architecture immediately, and these like buildings that just looks like they are out of, you don't feel like you're in Britain when you're walking in Edinburgh. It's weird, but it's unique, and I think this is part of the charm of the city. I mean, it's a blend of old and really new, and the architecture, I have to say, if you're an architecture fan like I am, it is beautiful. I mean, look at this architecture. It's just gothic. It's just really cool to look at. And they have parks, and it's just amazing greenery. And to be honest, when we went there, the weather was sublime. So massive positive. So yeah, really good experience actually. And now I'm going to keep quiet, and you're going to see some of the video that was captured while we were exploring Edinburgh. So when you're traveling there, I would suggest that you give yourself enough time. We ended up just exploring as soon as we arrived. If I was to do it again, I would do the drive, relax a little bit, and maybe explore the next day. So that's something to keep in mind if you are traveling down from England. Alternatively, you can take flights and coaches there as well. But look at this view. Isn't that just absolutely gorgeous? Yep. Here you go. Have a look at this beautiful city, Edinburgh. As you can see, the architecture is gorgeous, and you should really listen to the vibe that this place has. I mean, this is Waverley, next to that Waverley station that they have, Edinburgh Waverley, and it was buzzing. I mean, there was a little bar there, and there were loads of people out, and they were really enjoying themselves at the bar, and it just seemed so surreal to somebody coming from England. I mean, they're just enjoying themselves, and it's like super fun, and the whole vibe. I mean, you look like you're standing in some place which is extremely historic, but at the same time, it has a great population of young people there that are enjoying themselves. The bar scene is fantastic. The night scene is really fun in Edinburgh, and this whole mixture of modern and historic, it's jarring, but in a good way, because you just get lost in this whole vibe that this city carries. I mean, I was absolutely loving it, where it was just exploring the streets and learning about the historic buildings and different monuments that stand within Edinburgh, or just having a nice drink in these local pubs and bars and these places. They're just full of people with good energy. Massive plus point was the fact that we ended up taking a bus tour, which took us to all of the main attraction points within Edinburgh City, and I would highly suggest that this is a great way of traveling about the city, because we paid £8 per person, and it's a hop on hop off system, so you can just hop off at any particular site that you wish, and you can hop on. The bus services every half an hour, and they last from 9 a.m. till 4. So this is Edinburgh Tours that we use. £8 per person is a fantastic deal to be able to travel around the city and see all the attractions that it has to offer. I mean, look at this architecture. I mean, doesn't that just fascinate your, you know, the adventure spirit within you, and the fact that it's also surrounded by this, you know, dormant volcano, and the buildings are like ancient. And just this is, I don't know if this is coming across to you at all, but it's weird, but it's so cool in the same very unique way that Edinburgh carries itself. And I had to say, the people, they're very, very friendly. The Scottish are very open-minded, very easygoing people, and I found that we were very welcome there. And I really, really enjoyed, you know, hanging out and getting to know some wonderful people there. So that was a massive plus point as well. The palace, I didn't get a very good shot of that, to be honest, and if we would have had more time, as we said, we only went there for 2 days, and one of those days was exploring. So if we would go again, we would definitely spend some time and utilize that hop on hop off system with the bus, and be able to go and explore these sites in detail. So stay tuned. Perhaps this next time I'll go with Doll rather than the family, so that we can, you know, explore properly. But look at that. I mean, that's just, look at the scenery, look at everything. Just take it all in, guys, because I promise you, it was a million times way better than what you're seeing this in this video. And I can't stress enough that if you have the time, and if you have the money, and if you have the resources to go to Edinburgh, do it, because I promise you, you will fall in love with the city and the character that it carries. So this is in Old Town. It's right next to the castle. This is the souvenir bit. if you are going to hop off here, you can visit all these shops that are Scottish themed, so you can get the souvenirs for your family and friends. There was a guy there with an owl there that you would pay to have the owl sit on your arm for a little bit, which is extremely amusing. But if you're a Harry Potter fan, then you know about the Edinburgh and what part it played in the movie franchise. And there was this gorgeous pub there that I thought, you know, was absolutely beautiful, but we didn't get the chance to drink there because we were running a bit behind schedule, to be honest. And this is the Bank of Scotland building, the original one, and it's, look at it, it's just so cool. And yeah, I mean, once you're here, you do get lost in the whole charm that the city has, especially with the historic nature of things. And on a day like this where the sun is shining and, you know, the weather is beautiful and people are nice, there's not really a lot you can't enjoy. In this case, I have to apologize for the shaky camera. My iPhone had died at this point, so I was using my dad's Android. Not the best for filming, but thankfully it does have 1080p 60 frames per second, so you guys are still seeing the same level, the quality of video, but just not with the image stabilization, so I apologize for that. And yeah, the Marriott was actually slightly disappointing, I'm afraid. The room was a bit tatty and just old looking and not very that nice, but our highlight was the cast iron grill, which was just gorgeous. I mean, their food was amazing. The mac and cheese was sublime. It had beef brisket in it. The chicken was fantastic. The chicken skewers, the roast vegetables, the onion rings, and then finally my beautiful fish and chips as well. And something which was really good was this red tomato relish, which was just to die for, to be honest. Yeah, so the grill experience was good, but Marriott was unfortunately a disappointment, which is rare for Marriott, I must say. But yeah, on the way back we came through the M74 and it was just really cool, beautiful valleys and scenery again. So if you are planning to go to Edinburgh, do it, because I would highly recommend it. It's definitely a holiday that you'll remember.